Alright, we should be live. Let's give this just a second to get started. Okay. Okay, you all should be able to hear me. We are using the new microphone for the first time. I will touch more on that later, but for now I want to get straight into severe weather coverage. We just had an intense tornado on the ground near Bement and Hammond. Well, actually it wasn't on the ground here. This is where the debris fallout is. So we'll actually make this full screen. You can see this is the correlation coefficient. So this is picking up on our debris. We had debris fallout near Bement, Illinois, near Piatt. This was dangerous debris fallout. So if this hits you, this could seriously injure you or worse. An extremely dangerous situation. Where you see these blue, yellow, green, orange colors, that is all debris. The rest of this, these grays and pinks, that is rain. So we are monitoring this. This area is under a tornado watch. This tornado is no longer on the ground. I'm pretty sure that it has lifted. We are going to go back. So we'll do 21 frames. And if we take a look, you could see at this point it was on the ground. We had violent velocities for a QLCS tornado. Darn, it keeps going that way. Yeah, this was near Long Creek, just east of Long Creek. So this was on the ground near Linter, Burrowsville, Hammond, and then it lifted right around here. But we do still have some debris being picked up on the correlation coefficient. So that CC drop is still near Sloan Station. So if you are in Satarus or Pesotum, I don't know if I'm saying that right, but those areas in Illinois near Sloan Station, you need to seek shelter now because this debris is still in the air. We are still picking up on possibly some trees, shingles, stuff like that in the air. So a tornado is no longer on the ground, we believe, but continue to seek shelter due to this debris fallout, and it could very well recycle. We also have another tornado warning. This one is now observed. Wow. Look at that CC drop. So that is near Papineau, Illinois. If you're in Papineau, Illinois, Beaverville, Marlinton, you need to seek shelter now on the lowest floor of a sturdy building away from windows. Davis was saying that we have 2 rotations with this. I'm not 100% sure where our other one is, but you could see that confirmed tornado on the ground near Papineau. You could see it on velocity. If you are in Papineau, Marlinton, Sugar Island, St. Anne, Leesville, St. Anne Woods, or Hopkins Park, Illinois, you need to seek shelter now on the lowest floor of a sturdy building away from windows. If you do not have a basement or storm shelter, that means a closet, hallway, bathroom, away from windows. Lowest floor, the center of the building. We have 5 people watching and 2 likes. So if you have not already, please be sure to like the stream and consider subscribing to the channel. It helps out a lot. But once again, we have a tornado on the ground with a debris signature. This is a deep debris signature near Papineau, and unfortunately, this is going through areas with roads. If we turn off radar really quick, I believe we have houses here. Yes. It looks like we have houses here near East 3150 North Road. Okay, so this is entering, yeah, look how many houses we have here, guys, near Taylor Street. So if you are on Papineau Street, anywhere in this red polygon, a tornado is currently on the ground doing damage just north of Papineau, Illinois. Most of that debris fallout is located along East 3300 North Road, approaching the South 7000 E Road, and that is moving east, and we still have a tornado on the ground, I believe. You can see where those velocities are, and I am 100% sure that that is a CC drop because it lines up perfectly with our velocities. You could see on the left, this is where our debris is. In there, those colors, that's our debris. This is the rotation just to the south of St. Anne, Illinois. So once again, if you are in these areas, you need to be in your safe spot. That means either basement, storm shelter, and if you don't have either of those, lowest floor of the sturdy building, the center, and bathroom, hallway, closet, anywhere like that. You need to be away from windows, because even if our tornado lifts, this debris will stay in the air. It is thousands of feet up, so that'll be up there for a while. And that debris fallout will continue for at least the next 15 minutes in this area. So that's more dangerous than the actual tornado right now. That is my main concern. I want to check back in on our southern one, which no longer has a tornado warning. That radar indicated tornado warning has been expired, but we now have a severe thunderstorm warning with the tornado possible tag. So if you are in Tuscola, Garrett, Arthur, or Arcola, Illinois, and eventually Camargo, Murdoch, you guys in Murdoch and Newman are just outside of that polygon, but you need to be prepared to seek shelter. This storm does have some rotation with it. No tornado on the ground or no tornado warning. Our rotation isn't quite strong enough. And this storm is also accompanied by 60-mile-per-hour winds and hail 0.75, just 3/4 of an inch or less. I don't like to say 0.75 of an inch, because then people get kind of confused, and 75-inch hail would be insane and probably not possible. You're under a wind advisory. Once again, my main concern is up here in, what county is this? This is, not sure how to say either of those really, but that includes Papineau, Beaverville, Martinton, I don't know, in Illinois. So our tornado, we do still have rotation, but I believe that tornado has now lifted or significantly weakened, but we do still have debris fall. That CC drop is now near St. Anne. So if you're in St. Anne, Illinois, seek shelter now. You need to run, not walk to your safe spot. Observed tornado warning still remains in effect for another 6 minutes, and it is likely that they'll reissue this at radar indicated. I would also like to note we have blizzard warnings in effect for portions of the Dakotas, Minnesota, Iowa, Wisconsin, Michigan. So we'll switch to our winter weather radar. You can see we have heavy snow mainly east of Minneapolis in this blizzard warning area. Actually, east of Minneapolis and Minneapolis is a winter storm warning. West of there is a blizzard warning. So a blizzard warning means that we have heavy snow, and that wind is going to kick up snow. So we're going to have sustained winds, typically 35 miles per hour plus, I believe. And those winds are going to kick up the snow and cause zero visibility on roads. You will not be able to see the road ahead of you, maybe not even 10 feet. So just avoid all travel if at all possible in those areas. We'll do more coverage for that later, but right now I want to focus on our more urgent threat, which is this tornado warning. It looks like our debris is continuing. And this CC drop got a little bit deeper than it was 2 scans ago, so I would not be shocked if we still do have a tornado on the ground. I'm going to pay attention a bit more to the live chat, so let's see. We have Lisa Peterson in here. That was earlier, not sure if you're still here. Country Angel, Itzbra, and The Car Blocks. So thank you for tuning in, everyone. I hope you're all doing well. I hope everyone who celebrates had a very Merry Christmas. Yes, indeed. Remember to smash the like button. I don't think I've mentioned it yet. We try not to talk about it in times like this, but it looks like our tornado is easing up, and I would like to mention it. We do have a PayPal in chat. That is at the top. That is 100% completely optional, greatly appreciated. Helps with things like subscriptions for Radar Omega, Radar Scope. I used some of the money that I got for the channel to buy an anemometer the other day for wind events, so that is really cool. That was after the stream where Lisa and Elaine donated, so once again, huge shout out to you guys. I don't have the Don't Know board up right now because I didn't have time to get it set up before this stream, but if we need to, we can get that set up. But my main focus right now is our severe weather coverage. Once again, those are completely optional. Donations are never expected, but they do help out a lot for the channel. Even just watching helps. As long as I can help one of you guys, I'm happy. So be sure to ask those weather weather questions. My goodness, I cannot talk. Any weather questions that you may have. So our CC drop is now approaching St. Ann Woods, Leesville, Hopkins Park, and unfortunately it does look like we do have many roads here with some buildings on them. These are likely houses. So if you are in any of these areas, this is actually just outside of our tornado warning polygon, but this CC drop is moving quick. This is near the St. Ann Woods, Hopkins Park, near this whole area near Central Avenue. You guys need to seek shelter now on the lowest floor of a sturdy building, away from windows. That debris is still in the air. Once again, I'm continuing to monitor chat, so ask any questions that you may have. This is our first stream with the new microphone. We'll get back to do that in a second. We have a new tornado warning. So this one goes across the state line into Indiana. This includes Morocco, Indiana. It is just south of Shelby, Indiana, Snyder, Indiana. Lake Village is included, Thayer, Roselawn, so Mount Ayr. This is a pretty big polygon. This also includes Donovan, these areas in Illinois. This covers both of our rotations. You can see down south and up north, we have two areas rotating in this severe thunderstorm. Actually, not a severe thunderstorm. It is severe, but part of our line, you can see we have a large line with this QLCS event. So that is an observed tornado warning. I don't know where it just went. I hope you guys saw that. It just disappeared. So I'm going to read this tornado warning off of my phone. Give me just a second. I do not know why it disappeared on the computer, but that is still an observed tornado warning. So the National Weather Service in Chicago has issued a tornado warning. This is for Newton County in Indiana, Iroquois County in East Central Illinois, Kankakee County, I think I said that right, and that's in Illinois. So at 3:56 p.m., 3 minutes ago, a line of tornado-producing storms were located along a line from near Hopkins Park to near Watseka, moving east at 50 miles per hour. Spotter reports have indicated tornadoes near St. Ann and Martinton within the past few minutes, which is what we have been talking about. I was mentioning that tornado near Papineau, Martinton, and now near Hopkins Park. We have our debris. Can I check your location? Michigan City, Indiana. Sure. I feel like I know where that is, but this is quicker. So you are under a winter weather advisory. Looks like you have some... Okay, so it's mainly rain going for you. So you'll have some rain coming in soon, and I believe this is expected to turn into snow later. But that severe weather is to the south of you. Lisa said, did it recycle? I believe that is what it is doing. So once again, we have two rotations within this storm. Shout out to Davis Does Weather for mentioning that first. Saw that on his stream, and then I looked and I noticed it. So we have one near Beaverville and one near Hopkins Park. So there have been reports, unconfirmed, that we had twins on the ground. It would not surprise me. And right now, I'm sure that this one is on the ground. I'm like 90% sure near Hopkins Park we have a tornado on the ground once again. So you guys up there near Hopkins Park, Enos, Lake Village that crosses into Indiana, you guys need to seek shelter near St. Ann Woods. And then we have one down south near Beaverville. Not sure that that one is on the ground, but nonetheless, anywhere in this tornado warning polygon on the Illinois-Indiana state line, so Morocco, Brooke, Mount Ayr, Donovan, Iroquois, Martinton, Papineau, Beaverville, Hopkins Park, you guys all need to be in your safe spot. If you are especially, my main concern right now is St. Ann Woods. You guys have that debris fallout right now and that potentially new tornado. So you guys need to seek shelter now on the lowest floor of a sturdy building, away from windows, basement, storm shelter. Oh, okay. That is the same tornado warning, but for some reason, Radar Omega is glitching and it popped up new. But as I was saying, you guys need to be in your safe spot. If you do not have a basement or storm shelter, away from windows, center of the building, lowest floor. So bathroom, hallway, closet, potentially a bedroom, if that is the center at the lowest floor. Whatever qualifies for what I just said. If you do not have any of those areas, just go to wherever would be safest in the building you are in. If it's a mobile home, evacuate if you can, go to a neighbor, but cover yourself with a mattress, helmet, put on a helmet, have your shoes on, because if this tornado does hit you, it will mangle your mobile home. So this is a warning for anybody in mobile homes out here, because I believe we may have some. If you are just across in the Indiana area, so if you're in Morocco, Beaver City, Ade, Lake Village, Indiana, where these two rotations are approaching, especially this northern area near Lake Village and the Kankakee Sands and Enos, I'm worried about you guys. That is the stronger rotation. Go north or south if you can, if you're in a mobile home. Otherwise, stay in your safe spot and seek shelter now. If I quiet down for a second, that is because I am monitoring reports on my phone. I am keeping an eye on it to give you guys the most accurate and up-to-date information. So let's take a look at this. That is our same tornado warning that keeps popping up. There has not been a new one issued. I do not know why it's glitching like that, but that is our only tornado warning right now. There is one tornado warning, but we have 2 areas of rotation in here, so keep that in mind. Yeah, I do not know what Radar Omega is doing. It just completely refreshed itself. If you know anybody in this area, be sure to share the stream. Not much else to say right now. We are closely monitoring this situation. Let me know in chat how the new microphone sounds. If you remember, I had 2 old microphones, but one of them had an issue where it would make a weird tapping noise, and the other one was just kind of muffled. This is a new one that was a Christmas present. I think this one is much better, but let me know what you guys think. I'm very happy to have it. Very grateful for it. It is a great addition for the channel. And it actually came with 2 of them. So if I ever had somebody else here with me in person for some reason doing severe weather coverage, they could have one too. I don't think that would happen though. Give me just a second, everyone. I will be right back. Okay, I am back. Once again, this was not a scheduled stream. This was unexpected. I thought we were going to go live later than we did, but I'm glad that I was able to go live. That is why we do not have an overlay. It's just the text at the top. We're going to check back in on correlation coefficient. And while we have kind of a calm period because both of our correlation coefficient areas, well, our CC drop, we only had 1 CC drop, 2 areas of rotation. We may have a tornado on the ground to the north, but we do not have a CC drop, so it does not appear to be hitting anything. We have some remains of our CC drop, but it has decreased. So I'm going to update the title. Okay, for some reason it will not let me update the title, so we're just going to wait to do that. I guess it is still kind of accurate because I do believe that we have a tornado on the ground. Once again, that would be located just east of Hopkins Park Illinois, they would probably actually have crossed into Indiana by now, yes. So if we do have a tornado on the ground, not saying that we do, not saying that we don't, it would be located north of Enos, Indiana, just to the south of Lake Village here, near the Kankakee Sands, near the Beaver Lake Nature Preserve. So if you're in Enos, Indiana, Lake Village, Indiana, and those areas, you need to be in your safe spot immediately. Run, not walk to your safe spot. If you're in Roselawn or Fair Oaks, you've got about 3 or 4 minutes before you need to be in your safe spot, your tornado shelter, basement, or lowest floor away from windows. Thank you for tuning in Henry's channel. Just saw your chat message. Radar Omega is broken for you. Unfortunately, I'm not sure how to help you with your issue for the mile per hour and meters a second. It's probably somewhere in the settings. The only issue I'm having is where it'll just randomly like refresh, or the warnings will go away and everything will just kind of disappear for a second. There you go. It just did it. See? That's the issue I'm having, but I still love Radar Omega, so we're going to continue using it. Once again, our tightest rotation is now in Indiana, so that has crossed over from Illinois. So if you are in Hopkins Park, Illinois, any of these areas on the Illinois side of this polygon, you guys are now good to come out of your safe spot. Yeah, that debris signature has also crossed into Indiana. At this point, it could just be some leftover contamination, but it does line up with where it has been, so we're going to continue to call it a CC drop, although it is beginning to fade away. I shouldn't say beginning to, it has been fading away. And that is our only tornado warning right now. But down south on this part of the line, we have new severe thunderstorm warnings going out. So this severe thunderstorm warning, tornado possible tag, hail 3/4 of an inch or less, and 60 mile per hour winds. This is for Coles County in east central Illinois, southeastern Moultrie County in central Illinois, southeastern Shelby County in central Illinois, and Cumberland County in east central Illinois. So at 3:57 p.m. Central Standard Time, severe thunderstorms were located along a line extending from near Arcola to near Cowden, moving east at 60 miles per hour, 60 mile per hour winds, radar indicated threat, expect damage to roofs, siding, and trees. So these severe thunderstorm warnings, or these severe thunderstorms, will be near Mattoon, Stewardson, Humboldt, and Cooks Mill around 4:05 p.m. Central Standard Time, Neoga and Rardon around 4:10 p.m. Central Standard Time, and then Charleston, Oakland, and Lerna around 4:15 p.m. Central Standard Time. So the following highways are included: Interstate 57 between mile marker 169 and 201, and I-70 between mile marker 106 and 126. Remain alert for a possible tornado. Tornadoes can develop quickly, and a tornado warning tornado watch. A tornado warning, I just want to clarify, is not in effect for these areas. That is a tornado watch in effect for these areas. Our only tornado warning is up north, and that is still observed. So I do believe we still have a tornado on the ground, or at least very strong rotation near the Kankakee Sands, just north of Enos, Indiana, south of Lake Village. So once again, we are continuing to monitor this situation. If you are just joining us, welcome into the live stream, and thank you for tuning in. I hope you are doing well on this Sunday afternoon, evening for some of us. We're actually going to take a look at the broad picture for today, because I guess I haven't really gone over our risk or anything today. So we've got a new mesoscale discussion, and then we'll also pull up our watch and the outlook while we have kind of a calmer period. So give me just a second to get this all loaded up. Okay, so here is our day 1 convective outlook, December 28th, 2025. We have a level 2 out of 5 slight risk of severe weather for much of central and eastern Indiana, portions of western Kentucky, very small portion, and then eastern Illinois, southeastern Illinois. So in that slight risk, Indianapolis is included, Evansville, those are in Indiana. Champaign is in Illinois, Bloomington, Indiana, and then Lafayette, Indiana. And then in our marginal risk, Columbus, Ohio, Cleveland, Ohio, St. Louis, Toledo, and Cincinnati. Our 5% tornado risk is where I believe all of our tornado warnings have been. Maybe our one earlier was just outside of it, but that 5% tornado risk includes Champaign, Illinois, Lafayette, Indiana. I don't know how to say it. Maybe Terre Haute, Indiana, Urbana, Indiana, and Danville. And that 2%, Indianapolis, and a couple other areas you could see right there. And then there's our damaging wind risk, and hail isn't really a concern for today. Okay, we do have a new tornado warning, so we're going to get back to radar. And that is for the southern, well, it went away. But that was just south of this storm. So it was for the southern area of rotation on this storm near Morocco. There it is. I figured out how to trigger the refresh myself, but sometimes it does it on its own. So I don't really understand. So our northern one is still observed. This southern one is radar indicated, so a tornado is not on the ground, according to the National Weather Service, and I would agree with that. Rotation is still pretty broad, but there's enough to trigger that warning. That is near Milford, is where our rotation is, near Stockland, Sheldon, Illinois, about to cross into Indiana. So if you are in Kentland, Indiana, Sheldon, Illinois, Earl Park, Goodland, or Remington, even north of Fowler, Indiana, you need to seek shelter now on the lowest floor of a sturdy building. So get into your storm shelter or basement away from windows. If you do not have a basement or storm shelter, go to the lowest area of your building away from windows and in the center, lowest floor. So I do not believe we have any confirmed tornadoes on the ground right now. I think our northern one, you can see those velocities really loosened up over here. They were south of Lake Village, and it actually was kind of concerning for a moment, especially because it looks like Forest City, Roselawn, Deer Park, these are probably smaller population centers, but they do add up, and if anything gets hit, even if it's just a couple houses, that could be catastrophic. So thankfully it does appear that has lifted, and if we do see another tornado warning with this, as of right now, this could change, could recycle. I believe it would be radar indicated. So once again, we are continuing to monitor that. But now my main concern is on this southern part because they just tornado warned that. We're going to wait to see if the National Weather Service will keep this northern tornado warning. But this southern one, you can see this is a tornado warning for southeastern Iroquois County and east central Illinois, southern Newton County, Benton County, and southern Jasper County. These three counties, Newton, Benton, and Jasper, are in Indiana, and Iroquois is in Illinois. So most of the areas impacted by these storms now on the northern end of our line will be in Indiana. So these dangerous storms will be near Kentland and Stockland around 4:15 p.m. Central Standard Time. So that's right now. Earl Park around 5:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's right now. Oh, I got it. So part of our warning is in the Central Standard Time zone. Part of it is in the Eastern Standard Time. So Fowler and Boswell around 5:25, so in 10 minutes, and then Remington in 15 minutes. So once again, we are continuing to monitor that situation. Looks like I got a PayPal notification. Let me get a second to pull this up. Lisa Peterson with the $25 dono. Huge shout out to Lisa Peterson. She is a mod for our channel and many others in the weather community. Thank you so much for your generosity. We're going to go ahead and get you on the dono board. So let me get that set up. Once again, huge shout out to Lisa Peterson. She does a lot for not just me, but much of the weather community. You likely see her as a moderator in quite a few chats. So once again, thank you for your hard work and thank you for your support to the channel. Donations are always 100% completely optional, but greatly appreciated. So this will likely, I'm not going to reset this dono board again this year, so this will probably just be for the end of the year. I'll probably keep it on our New Year's Eve stream, which is not guaranteed, but I'm planning on doing a New Year's Eve stream. Lisa said Merry Christmas, so thank you for that. Merry Christmas to you as well. I hope everybody in chat, all of you who celebrate, had a very Merry Christmas. Oh, where'd it go? I don't know what is happening with it. Let's fix the donation board. Okay. There we go. So we're going to move this over, and then we'll make room for that. Get that up there. And there we go. So once again, huge shout out to Lisa Peterson. Let's get 50 W Lisas in chat. You looked outside and it is dark there. You said you are in Northwest Indiana, so we'll check on your winter weather advisory. No severe weather necessarily for you. We'll get back to that tornado warning in a second. But yeah, that is mainly just rain for you. That could still cause some dark skies, so just secure loose objects. You may see some gusty winds. That's about it for severe weather for you. And as I was saying earlier, I imagined they would reissue this as radar indicated, and that is exactly what they did. That rotation did loosen up a lot, so we no longer have tornadoes on the ground in neither of these parts of the line. I think both of our tornadoes, if we had two, we had one for sure, but those lifted at least 10 or 15 minutes ago. So these warnings are now radar indicated, and they will likely cancel this one. But there is still a radar indicated tornado warning. So if you're in Goodland, all of these areas are in Indiana, by the way. Over on the Illinois side, you guys are good to get out of your safe spot. Maybe Sheldon, Illinois, you guys can stay there for another 3 minutes or so. But Kentland, Goodland, Remington, Robe, not sure if I said that right, Earl Park, Fowler, Boswell, Oxford, Mount Ayr, Morocco, Brook, Wheatfield, Laura, Guilford, Newland, Lewiston, Moody, Parr, Surrey, Deer Park, and all of these areas in that red tornado warning polygon in Indiana, you guys need to seek shelter now on the lowest floor of a sturdy building, away from windows. If you do not have a basement or storm shelter, get into the center part of the building, away from windows, and in the center. Or not the center, the lowest part. So if you have a 2-story house without a basement, get to the lowest part in the center, away from windows, so maybe a closet under the stairs, somewhere around there, so you can protect yourself from that flying debris. Do I have a lower level? Yes, we here have a safe spot to go for tornadoes, but oh no, you're not talking to me. You're talking to Ittsboro. The tornadoes, your tornado warnings are south of Ittsboro. For him, it's just going to be mainly lightning, some moderate rain. I wouldn't call it heavy rain. You will not stay a tornado. Velocities are literally only one color, as you can see near Michigan City. So you are good. Maybe you'll get some wind gusts up to 30 miles per hour, so you'll be good. Our tornado warnings are, let's see, 35 miles south of you, and they're moving east, so they're not going to be near you. You're just on the kind of leftover part of the line, the north side. It's really the center of our line that we are monitoring. Once again, I know we have some people watching from this area in Iowa, Minnesota, maybe even Nebraska. So we're going to go over this really quick For the Des Moines area, which is where we are seeing our snow, Des Moines is under a winter weather advisory. Most of that snow is east of you guys near New Sharon, Montezuma, Monroe, Newton. So this winter weather advisory is in effect until 6 a.m. Central Standard Time Monday. Strong winds, snow, and falling temperatures leading to hazardous travel today. So you guys will see snow and blowing snow, additional snow accumulations up to 1 inch. Winds will gust as high as 55 miles per hour. So your snow totals, these additional snow totals, accumulations up to 1 inch. Most of the snow has already come for these areas in Des Moines. And it's not necessarily that the snow is going to linger for a while, these snowstorms, but it's just going to be heavy bands. You guys had that snow squall warning earlier. Just light snow in Des Moines. Yes, very light snow in Des Moines. As I've said before, the radar measures intensity of precipitation with a scale called DBZ. It's kind of hard to explain like what it means. Most people don't understand. But the higher the number, the more intense the precipitation. So we've got around 30 dBz snow near Newton on I-80, maybe a bit higher than 30 in some areas, just isolated. But in Des Moines, you guys have around 10 to 20 dBz, so very light snow, and it is coming in pockets. So the majority of the snow for you guys is done. That doesn't mean the hazardous travel is over, though. That's why you have that winter weather advisory in effect until 6 a.m. tomorrow, because those roads may have some ice, mainly black ice, stuff like that, that comes a couple days after those storms. But it's mainly that snow and dropping visibility that the National Weather Service is concerned about. Where things are much more intense is with our blizzard warning. In Minnesota, it's an entirely different story. You guys down in Iowa are lucky, especially if you don't like snow. You can see east of Minneapolis is where all that heavy snow is, and it's causing blizzard conditions because we have heavier winds up here compared to in Iowa. We also have blizzard warnings for the UP of Michigan near Marquette, Crystal Falls. This is heavy snow in these areas. So near Covington Township, blizzard conditions expected, total snow accumulation of between 10 and 21 inches. That is a very vast range. That's obviously both of them are very high totals, but 10 and 21 makes a pretty big difference. That's more than double the lower end of that scale. So greatest areas in high terrain, winds gusting as high as 65 miles per hour, the strongest near Lake Superior. So Marquette, and the stronger you are to Lake Superior, the higher the winds. That is why the southern UP is in a winter storm warning, but the northern UP and eastern UP has a blizzard warning. Looks like we got some more people tuning in. So we've got South Central Alaska WX, welcome in. And then we have Pete, so welcome in. Thank you for tuning in to the stream. We've got 7 people watching now, 4 likes. So for those of you just tuning in, please be sure to like the stream. Pete, I think I had mentioned it to you before. We got the new microphone. It sounds pretty good compared to, I think you were the one who said that my old microphone, the tapping noise was an electrical issue, and I think you were right. This one, I had 2 mics. One was muffled, one made the annoying tapping noise. This one doesn't really have either of those. The sound might vary a little bit because I am moving it. Let's fix it really quick. I'm just going to set it somewhere and adjust it so it's not being moved as much. But the new mic sounds a lot better. It is a great improvement for the channel. So once again, for those of you just tuning in, welcome in. I actually forgot to go over these. We went over the convective outlook, but I forgot to go over to our mesoscale discussion, which apparently did not load. We got a bad gateway. There we go. So this was issued, well, this is valid for about an hour. Our peak tornado intensity, most probable, would be 85 to 115 miles per hour, so EF0 to EF1 strength. Winds 55 to 70 and hail 1.25 inches or less. So the threat for tornadoes with embedded circulations will continue along with occasional wind damage. So nothing too out of the ordinary. And you can see we have this is a very large tornado watch area actually. That includes portions of southeast Missouri, near the Paducah area in Kentucky, so western Kentucky, you guys are in that, and then western and central Indiana, and then portions of central and eastern Illinois are hazard and likelihood. Tornadoes are moderate, EF2 plus low, severe wind is moderate, 65 knot plus wind moderate, and then severe hail and 2+ inch hail are low. We're not really too concerned about hail risk today. Our wind risk and tornado risk are slight risk level. Damaging large hail is marginal risk level, so nothing too concerning. Not going to read through this whole list, but you can see all the counties in Illinois included in this tornado watch. So if you are in that area, have multiple ways to receive severe weather alerts: weather radio, smartphone, possibly TV, but TV isn't going to help you if the power goes out unless you've got a generator, but not good to rely on that. And there's our Indiana counties included. There's a lot of those. We actually don't have as many counties in Missouri and Kentucky, so we'll go ahead and read through those. In Kentucky, Ballard, Davies, Livingston, McLean, Caldwell, Henderson, Lyon, Union, Crittenden, Hopkins, McCracken, and Webster County in Kentucky. I think I said most of those right. And then Missouri, Bollinger, Scott, Perry, and Cape Girardeau counties. So 4 counties in Missouri, 12 counties in Kentucky, and probably at least 25 counties in Illinois and Indiana. More than that. Honestly, we don't need to be alive too much longer. These tornado warnings are all radar indicated. We have no tornadoes on the ground. We'll check back in on velocities. Okay, so we do have some rotation near Wheatfield, so we'll continue to monitor that, but we may end stream soon and come back later. I was not planning to go live when I did, but I'm glad I did because I saw that tornado warning, I saw the CC drop, I knew it was time to start stream. I will have an overlay set up for later. This was a surprise stream, so I did not have one quite ready. We do have this portion of our line riding along I-70, north of I-70, producing some small hail, damaging winds of up to 60 miles per hour, and they still have noted the potential for a tornado. A tornado is possible with this severe thunderstorm in Cumberland County approaching the Indiana state line. That whole area. We have been live 42 minutes. It really doesn't feel like that long. So that's pretty good considering the stream was not expected. Once again, huge shout out to Lisa for the $25 donation. You've been a big supporter of the channel and I appreciate you for being here, and also for many other channels in the weather community. I don't want to end off and have something happen, so I am going to continue monitoring the situation in western, northwestern Indiana. Don't see any CC drops, which is always good news. I do see that rotation once again near Deer Park, DeMott, not sure if I said that right, Wheatfield, and Roselawn, Indiana. I do think as of right now, based off radar, that the northern part of our storm, or these two storms in our QLCS line, would be more likely to produce this northern part. We have 2 rotations on the northern part, and the third one is separate. So we have 1 rotation in this polygon, 2 in this one. You can see our area of rotation here, kind of cross polygon, and then the remains of our earlier rotation up there. But once again, a tornado watch does remain in effect for these areas. You can see all those counties there in the red outlined, and that is until 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, which is also 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so that is in effect for another, I believe, 3.5 hours. Yeah, that sounds right. That is tornado watch number 643. Primary threats included coupled tornadoes possible, scattered damaging winds likely with isolated significant gusts to 75 miles per hour possible. So we are just going to continue to monitor this. This storm is really strong with tornadoes and heavy snow. Yes, it is. It's actually multiple different storm systems we have converging. We have that front that pushed through and brought those rapidly dropping temperatures. Some areas saw over 30-degree temperature drops in just a couple of hours. That's why our tornado watch meets with the winter weather advisory. We have winter weather expected in these areas later tonight, mainly north of our tornado watch in northwest Indiana and portions of Michigan. But really this whole area we're keeping an eye on. So with that being said, I think we are good to end off the live stream here. If anything does spin up later, or maybe we'll do a chill stream later, we will be here. But for sure, if severe weather comes back, I will go live as long as I can. So with that being said, that is going to be the end of this live stream. Once again, huge shout out to Lisa Peterson with the $25 dono. Huge supporter of the channel, and thank you to everybody else who tuned in. We had Country Angel, It's Bruh, The Car Blocks, Lisa Henry, South Central Alaska WX, and then Pete. So thank you everyone for tuning in, and I will see you all in the next one. If you have not already, please be sure to like the stream and consider subscribing to the channel. Peace.